Hello, today we're going to look at magnesium metal. This is a roll of magnesium metal. It's pretty metallic, although this stuff's kind of old, so it has kind of a white coating on the outside. It's easy to bend, and you can actually just break it with your hands. And I want to show you what happens when you take this magnesium metal and you put it into a flame. So it starts out as a metal. Here I've got a Bunsen burner flame. Bunsen burner is attached to methane gas and it's a flame that's running. I put the magnesium metal in the Bunsen burner flame and it's pretty exciting. It lights up real bright and I have to be careful actually not to look at it. And then what you're left with, it's almost like a dust. It's almost like an ash that you're kind of left with. So again, I want to show you, you start out with magnesium metal. It gets real hot and it burns. Being careful not to touch it. And then it'll eventually go out and it turns into this kind of dusty stuff. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to start out with, this is called a crucible, and this is an empty crucible. Okay, there's nothing in there. And I'm taking a mass of the crucible on the scale, and you can see there it weighs about 27.08. Going to add some magnesium metal to this crucible. I'm going to put the lid back on. Okay. We get a mass of 27.32. And then this entire crucible I can take here. These are my tongs. I'm going to lift it up and put it on a clay triangle here. One of the things I want to do is I want to make sure that the lid is kind of, we call it ajar. Okay, so again, I've got my magnesium metal inside there, got my lid ajar, and I've got my Bunsen burner. And I am gonna light this, I'm gonna heat this up. So my magnesium metal is now inside of the crucible, and I'm hoping that I can get it hot enough that it'll do just what it did before, although it does take a couple extra seconds. So it's getting nice and hot, heating up that magnesium metal inside there. I can see it kind of starting to glow. There's some sparks. It's starting to catch inside there. Sometimes we have students actually blow inside there to get it going, but I'm kind of afraid while I'm holding my phone here, to be totally honest. So I'm going to make sure that it's reacted all the way. So I'm going to add some water here. I'm going to add just a pipette full of water. Into there. And then I'm going to reheat it until all the water is gone. Now, I do want to point out to you that when I did that, some of the powder came out, which is my product. So when we talk about errors in labs, that was a little bit of a human error as well as kind of an inherent error in the lab. I should have probably let it cool a little bit. And when I'm all done letting this heat all the way, I'm going to put it back on the scale and see what I get. So here we are. This is the final product here on my scale. You can see it's kind of, all dried up looking. It looks like it should be less, but it turns out that the amount has actually gone up. the scale has gone up. And I have that data recorded for you in your lab. That amount, usually when we burn things, we expect them to get smaller, but this has actually gotten bigger.